for y'all taking some time out of this beautiful day to be inside and play with the technology. I know we'd probably all rather be outside doing something great.
At least it's not raining.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Amen to that.
Right. So good news is hopefully we're pretty efficient today in this meeting, and we can all get back to whatever we were doing or plan to do this afternoon. So Madam Mayor, do you have any comments for the group?
Just thank y'all for being here. Also, I want to thank Tim for sending the network maps into the city, and thank you for doing that. Also, I would like to thank the members who are also on this committee for being in our new planning and zoning commission, and I hope to see that commission working hand in hand with this group. And that's all I have to say, Mr. Chairman.
All you got to say about that?
That's it.
Okay. I guess the next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from August 26th. So
I don't believe I ever got minutes, or did I just miss them?
I think they should have been part of the packet you got.
I got the agenda in one email, and I got the survey stuff in another email, but I never got the minutes.
Wow.
You know, I don't have them either.
Karen,
I might have missed it.
Karen, could you resend those?
I will. I'll resend them out. I'll double check and see if they actually went out, but nonetheless, I'll resend them.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you. All right. Going on to some updates. The first one was about our citizen survey distribution update. I think you should have all seen that. It went out yesterday. That included both the graphs and a summary that Debbie Delhaas put together for us of the survey results. And then there was another document that talked about some of the things that have been going on in the city to date in the last 6-7 months. The interesting thing is quite a few of those actions that have been undertaken by the city really aligned with the priorities that came up in the survey, especially with the natural beauty and maintenance of Sky Valley, also the infrastructure pieces as well. So that was very, that was good to see. At least seems like everything's going on the right track so far, addressing the priorities and concerns the citizens have. The next actions with that is I'd like this committee to review those and by our next meeting, or probably just send me some of your feedback via email. Thoughts, any changes in priorities, anything else that might have been missed there. Just general, anything that you think we ought to discuss in our next meeting related to those survey results. And then from that, I'm going to do the same thing with the city council and our mayor and the city manager. Really start gathering some feedback from them. And then based on all of that, we can develop kind of an updated list of any new proposed actions that we should be undertaking or looking at or modifying. I would plan after we approve that to distribute that widely, and then continue to use that as our decision-making / budget guidance tool for the city council and city manager. So that's my update on that right now. Any feedback at this point?
Yes, I'd like to compliment Debbie for doing such a wonderful job on the graphs and recapping all of the information that really helped me understand the results and where we need to focus. And I thank you very much, Debbie, for doing that.
Great.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Bill for also doing the action underway statements. Those were great too. Thank you, Bill, for doing those.
Sure. Okay, any other comments? All right, internet updates. I know, Tim, you had to jump through a lot of hoops to get those coverage maps, and you delivered those to City Hall. Any update for us?
Well, I had a long conversation with Bill Duff, who is our local, as Ella knows, Ella's close personal friend, trying to get what Windstream is going to do down the road. And he promised me about 6 weeks ago that there was a plan and they were reviewing it at higher levels, but still there's nothing to have happened. And as I said to Ella, and Karen was there when I presented the maps for the Windstream, I followed what they say, that if you're within 6,000 feet of one of the 4 switches that they have, you should be able to get at least 25 meg down. If you're within, I can look at my notes here. Do you remember what it was, Ella? What I told you?
I think it's within
20. If you're in 2,500, you're supposed to be able to get 100 meg. And I think there's a lot of people who've had experience, and Holly was one. You're within 2,500, and you got nothing for a long time. So
True.
I also asked Bill Duff, if you ride around, especially at the corner of Tahoe and Sky Valley Way, there is a box that somebody's knocked the cover off, and I happened to look at it, and it appears to be about 75 feet of fiber optic cable. And I asked Bill Duff what that was. He said, well, that's not ours. We don't have any cable sitting around. But right next to it is a marker that says Windstream on it. So he told me he was going to check to see what that is. But I have not heard anything back from him.
Tim, did you find out anything? I know that we got some emails from people up on Winding Ridge that they
Yes.
have lousy service.
Yeah, thank you. They're not going to be able to do anything more for them right now. He says one of the problems is there's not enough density to make it worth their while.
Did they say how many residents they would have to make it worth their while?
No, I didn't ask that question.
Okay, all right.
But again, it goes back to our initial conversation with them. What can we as a community do to help them? And we haven't gotten anything from them. We might have to go, what's your other friend, Ella, Four?
Yeah, Michael Ford. Yeah,
Michael
he's the
Ford.
one that has responded to me pretty good. Yeah.
I'll reach out to him and see if we can shake the tree a little bit. But
Go
I've
ahead.
stymied as to, not any other options other than HughesNet. And I don't know if anybody in Sky Valley that's using them. That's the satellite.
I know that I know Ed and I listened to a webinar put on by the GMA in regards to internet and cities, municipalities accruing better service, but I don't think that Sky Valley fits the criteria for going for any of these grants. One thing I thought was interesting was some areas are using, this is for school systems, but it could be maybe relevant, are loading hotspots on school buses and parking them around their various counties so that people can get internet. I don't know. I don't think we want to park school buses, or even if it's possible, but I'm wondering if there is some sort of way we could develop hotspots for places like Winding Ridge. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that's just something we're going to have to push the button. I don't know how many homes are in Winding Ridge? Does anybody know? Couple dozen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
Maybe.
up close. Yeah.
And I'm not sure how many of them are full-time. Not that that makes a difference, but I didn't know if that would make a difference to True Vista or Windstream.
Well, True Vista has told me outright that that's, you know, they're operating on the old Northland cable network, and it never went over there. And they don't have any plans right now to run anything on the other side of 246.
Does anybody know about how to set up portable hotspots? I don't know anything about that.
Well, the normal way is use your cell service.
Right.
Turn the cell phone into a hotspot.
Yeah. I didn't know if there was any technological avenues that we could do it so that it would serve more than just one computer in an area. I'm ignorant in that. I don't know.
We might want to ask Tony Allred.
Yeah.
He was involved in creating internet connectivity for downtown Clayton.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
And it was a line of sight thing, and it wasn't real expensive for some of the appliances they need, but the line of sight probably is the challenge in the mountains here. So
Well, I
I know
see
he's listening, so maybe
he's
we can
listening.
get him to,
Yeah.
you know, feed us some information in the next few days.
Tony, give us a thumbs up if you agree. I
Yeah,
just
I
saw
can
he
tell
did
you that I agree. Yeah.
it. Okay, great.
Okay, so he's live, right?
Yeah.
So Tony, can you give us a real brief description of what you did in Clayton?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. We contracted with Habersham Electric Membership Corporation, who also has a fiber optic service, Clayton, and we brought in a number of pieces of equipment and located them strategically along Main Street, such that we have what they call a micro beam from the source of the internet. We micro beamed it down to the center of town. And from there, we looped it out into any number of different sort of like little repeater stations. And you can pick up internet service on your mobile device anywhere on Main Street and walk up and down Main Street, and it will follow you. And we have a gigabyte of service there. So
Wow.
it's pretty broad. We could handle, for instance, at a like an event where you had vendors who wanted to use their credit card machines through the internet. We could handle hundreds of them at the same time. It's not expensive to do. The devices are somewhere around $100 a piece for the repeaters, and maybe $200 for the micro beam stuff. But it is line of sight. We even talked about going from downtown Clayton up to the top of Black Rock, which is line of sight. You can see it directly. We wanted to put a webcam up there, but unfortunately, power all year, and they don't during the winter time they shut that down up there. So it's possible to do. You can cover a wide area with your own equipment with line of sight, and it's not that expensive to do.
And what is it connected to, Tony? I didn't understand that part.
Well, your comes in from the internet provider into a modem, and then you just distribute it from there on your own network. And it's open. Anybody can, it's open access. Or you could password protect it. It's up to you.
And is there a monthly fee to all this, or?
The only fee is the internet service. You buy the equipment, maintain it.
I wonder if we could add something to the tower on Alex Mountain.
To accomplish, you try beaming it from there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that would, you could reach a lot of area from there. Absolutely.
And how would we help? How would we help Winding Ridge? That's one of the really yucky areas.
Yeah, we would have to have somebody come out and who is experienced in installing the equipment and just take a look at what the possibilities might be for that.
Tony, who is that person?
Currently, I'm dealing with one of my former board members at the Chamber of Commerce who has an internet company. He runs a data company nationwide and is familiar with all this. And he helped us get set up. And he has contact with a local installation company. Actually, the guy lives here but they travel all over the eastern United States installing these systems.
And will you send me his name and number?
I would be happy to.
And I'll follow up with him and get him, maybe bring him up to Winding Ridge and take him up to the tower up on Alex Mountain too.
I'll be happy to help make that connection.
Do trees block the signal?
Yes.
Hmm.
It's a low power, especially the micro beam signal it's a low power, but it's very specific. It's not very broad. It's very narrow. So you have to be within you have to focus it on where you want it to go. I'm not giving you the correct technical name, but the little repeater devices that follow that provide the signal in a local area, they're only good for a couple hundred feet, and trees will block that too, but not as severely as the other. It's more open. It sort of goes out in a wider pattern, so you get better coverage.
Okay, well, I'll follow up with him.
Perfect. I'll get the information to you.
Thank you, Tony.
Tim, do you need an assistant internet supervisor?
All the help I can get.
Okay, well, we'll talk to Tony.
Yeah. Why don't let's just put Tony in charge of it and I'll be his assistant.
I'll let you all arm wrestle to decide that.
I knew that was coming. Just going back to your information you provided to us at the beginning there about the distance from the junction box and what type of service you should be receiving. Holly was a good example where she was close to a box, but she wasn't getting a good signal.
That's because I wasn't connected to that box.
Okay, so I'm just wondering how many other people are kind of in that same boat. If we were to put out a communication, should they just call Windstream, or is there a better contact for them? Because I would think if I was calling in, I would say, well, one of my neighbors, I just found out she wasn't hooked up to the right box. What do I have to do to get you to come out and check my system?
We were, Ed, we were hooked up to the station that is behind the old lodge, where there's a station that you can almost spit on from our house. So that made quite a difference when they connected us to the station near our house. And I hear what you're saying, and that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, because that would fall very closely within the 2,500 feet of, from the switch. And the thing about it is all their switches are fiber.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only ones that have fiber up here.
Yeah.
They did. I told Ed this the other day. Bill Duff did tell me that there's an individual who's a doctor that's moved to Sky Valley. And Ella, I don't know whether we talked about this the other day, that has paid or is paying Windstream to run fiber from one of their switches to his house because he needs it to be able to read x-rays and things like that. Does anybody know who that is?
No, not sure who that is.
So he
Or
said
how much it costs, yeah.
Duff said it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
So,
But again, my question is should we put out a communication to folks, just letting them know that they could be in a better position than what they realize, given the example that Holly had, and I guess just have them call customer service and relate that issue to them?
Well,
or is there somebody they should call?
Well, I think the thing to do is to call Windstream and try that. And then tell them if they need a little bit of help you know, we have some numbers. The problem I think that we've all found is that if you call down in Cornelia to their office, that's Jonathan and what's the young lady's name, Abigail or something.
Yeah.
It all
Yeah.
goes back to Bill Duff, and Bill Duff is not very responsive.
Okay.
Yeah, if you just call the Windstream general number, you end up in a call center somewhere outside the country. I've had some neighbors go through that and couldn't get anything done for quite a while.
But if you get, you know, if you hear somebody that's struggling, let me know. And I don't want to make it a business helping everybody get up that's got problems, but I can. And then I think Ella's got some numbers they can call too.
All right.
Yeah, it might be a good idea, like if people are having issues, is to, if we could get a list of names and addresses together, have them contact you, Tim, and us get a list together and then just forward it to these contacts at Windstream and say, we got this number of people, can you come up and help us out here? You know, you might pick up some more customers if they see you're trying to improve your service too.
Right.
It would be good if we could also encourage them to do a speed test, which is extremely easy and free. And they
Oh,
could
yeah.
give us that data also.
And Ed does not like me to say this, but if you're in a market where True Vista covers you, that's very simple.
It's simple everywhere. It's just, you just type in speed test, one word,
No,
.net.
I'm talking about getting
Oh.
connected, Ollie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Yeah.
Oh, I think if people are in True Vista's scope, people should call them for sure.
Man, True Vista covers all of Sky Valley. It doesn't cover Winding Ridge, and it doesn't go up the mountain, up Alex Mountain. The highest it gets is Alpine.
So it doesn't go up to Red Wolf and all that?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Howard
Well,
Becker's still
it comes
using
Alpine.
he's still using flags. And
Well, maybe that's where Tony can help us figure out something for those areas.
Okay. Ella, I guess we're going to try to get those maps professionally produced.
Yes. Yes, Karen has sent them in for them to look at them and see what they can do. Tim had updated them, and Karen went and got copies, and she sent them in for them to update the maps for us. So once we get those, we'll have a little bit more coverage map area that we can give. Because also it went out in the Sky Valley Times this week that we do have the bigger maps where people can look at them, and that's the map that we're looking, that Tim has put in the area coverage like he's talking about for each one. And we did one for Windstream and one for True Vista, and we're going to combine those two. So they'll all be in one and they'll be color coded.
Great.
People can just come by and pick those up, Ella?
If they want one, unfortunately, they charge us $5 for those. But if they want to come by and look at one, we can let them look at one or something. But if they
would it be possible to put it on the website?
No, I don't think it'll fit. I think by the time I reduce it down, I don't think it would fit
You
on
probably
the
couldn't
website.
read it.
Yeah, it'd be better for them to look at it in person. It's just like the same thing with the zoning map. You're better off to look at it in person.
So that'd be great. And if we have the phone numbers to call
Right.
also, that'd be good.
With-
Yeah, I'm a little reluctant to put out all the phone numbers, especially Bill Duff's number, because he's hard enough to deal with
I
now.
wouldn't
If
do that.
everybody's calling him, we're gonna.
Yeah, we don't want to turn him into a tech support call center. Yeah, I would agree. But just the general numbers to call, I think, would be helpful.
Well, I think Ella's suggestion is to put the word out. If you're not getting satisfactory service, send a message to the city or to somebody, and we can document all that. And then like Tim just said, if it's in the area, True Vista area, we can go back to them and say, hey, True Vista provides adequate service in this case. And if it's not in their area, then we take it to Windstream to see whether their system will do it. But that might be be a good way of sorting out the folks that are not getting adequate service.
Yeah, that could be something we include in the Sky Valley Times next month too. I think that would be your best thing. I don't think you want to send out a mass email with that information because that just confuses people, but just to include it in the Sky Valley Times newsletter, I think would be good.
Okay.
How many citizens are connected to the Sky Valley Times, Ella?
Well, we send it out to all of our lists, and I know that particular list, I believe it's like 500 or 600 people. I think it's right at 600 now,
Oh, that's
which is
good.
most of the full-time residents, not all of them, you know, but a good portion of them are full-time residents because it goes to the husband and the wife. So that's why we get the double sometime.
Thank you, Tim.
By the way, did everybody see Debbie Curtis's comment about HughesNet
Yes.
No, I
that she
did not.
posted? Debbie, maybe you could send that again. Where did Debbie?
I see it. I can read it. It says, "Thank you, Tim. Glad to help. Debbie's friends in Mountain Rest use a HughesNet. No good in cloudy or rainy weather."
It's like your DirecTV.
Like any satellite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like any satellite dish included. Yeah.
She
I thought,
also,
go ahead.
so Debbie also asked, when will council contact the people who gave their contact info in the survey? And that is, I know I've contacted mine and Ed's done his.
And Bruce has done his, and Jim. I think everybody, I just haven't heard from Moody, but I think most people have been contacted by council if they requested that on the survey. And we'll talk about that maybe at the next workshop.
Okay, anything else? All right. Next on the agenda is our building in 246. I think, Holly, we had a couple of lease extensions, right?
Yes,
To talk about, I think one to the end of the year and the other one possibly to the end of the year.
correct.
All right.
Currently, she is only, her lease only goes through October, but she has made mention that she would like to consider going at least to the end of the year.
All right. And then I think we also decided this morning that we would ask them if they wanted to extend into 2021.
Correct.
And we could write an appropriate agreement to do that.
Mhm.
That would also allow us a little flexibility if we decided to go in a different direction.
Yes.
And then Ella, I think we have the electrical cleanup scheduled.
Yes, we do. I've already talked with the electrician when he comes up to do the lighting improvements. So the new lighting at the main entrance, he's going to do that at the same time. So I anticipate that being done in the next couple of weeks anyway.
All right. So the other thing that I wanted to throw out for discussion is future use and/or modifications to the building. And I just wanted to do a pulse check. Are there any new thoughts from the committee on whether we should keep investing in this building and use of it or versus selling it?
You know, I was interested in seeing the survey results that a welcome center didn't get many points.
Yeah.
Most people, I think, had found Sky Valley through a friend, and I forget, I don't have that
Yeah, friend or family
information from me.
Yeah.
I see David Spears is looking it up right now. He can tell us what he's got.
You know, I still think that that's largely because the visitor center hasn't been available. And, you know, if there's no visitor center there, how are you going to find Sky Valley via the visitor center? You know?
That's true.
That's
And
true.
my other perception, Tim, with that survey went out to people, and a large segment of the people it went out to have been here for years. And back in the day, that's probably how they heard about it. So I don't know, but I'm just a little leery about is that the way people today would get and absorb information about Sky Valley? So I think you can kind of interpret it two ways.
I see Jim Curtis just responded. He said, marketing committee still thinks a visitor center is something they want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, you know, the discussions from a committee standpoint was not just a visitor center, but, you know, kind of a multifunctional use of that building. You know, part of it being almost like a community center where, you know, meetings could be conducted, used by the city, whoever else wanted to have that space or rent it, et cetera. And the visitor center would be a little bit more than just somebody sitting there at a desk waiting for somebody to walk in. I mean, it would be somebody that could be actively maintaining our social media. It could be somebody that had significant relationships and lists with all of the area activities that they could be a source for visitors and residents alike. So that was kind of the vision that was thrown out there, I think, that was discussed. So I'm just trying to do a pulse check and see, are we still kind of going down that path?
I tell you, Bill, I was intrigued with your suggestion that person, if we had a person there at this visitor/welcome center, that could be kind of like a concierge and set up possibly golf. If we set up packages with surrounding businesses, with the club, with the golf course, with the what is the wire thing?
Zip line.
Zip line, thank you, with Julep Farms. I mean, just to be a concierge and set all that up. And also this person could help update our city website, because I know our city hall ladies have enough to do to stay above water. I think I like that idea that you came up with, Bill.
And maybe some of these various organizations could help fund it.
Exactly.
True.
Yeah.
True.
All right.
Don't go there.
Well, I've got, I know we met with our contact to do some drawings and renderings, modifying the interior and the exterior. I just got those. I've looked through them. They're going to need some more modifications, I think. Good first draft, good start. After this meeting, I'll send it out to the committee, so you guys can take a look at it and realize that it's a rough first draft. There'll be a little bit of, there'll be some changes to that, I think. I think, the exterior of the building you put on there is beautiful. I'm not sure it quite fits our vision, and it's probably going to be way too expensive to do. So, but at any rate, I'll get that out to you guys so you can take a look at it and make whatever comments you want to make on that.
Yeah.
Any other discussion around that building?
I know we have an awful lot of gentlemen and ladies in Sky Valley that have construction and building backgrounds. So, we certainly could get them all involved in this also.
Yeah, I think that would be the right thing to do. I mean, at the end of the day, this exercise was to get somebody to put together some really good professional drawings and renderings, so we would have something that is visual we could talk about. From that point, then I think we to your suggestion, Holly, we involve some other people that have some talent, so we can figure out what the most, if we're going to do this, the most effective, efficient, and inexpensive way we can get it done.
Right.
I.e. value engineering.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
I like that.
right. Anything else on that topic? Okay. Any new business that anybody wants to bring up and put on our agenda? I'll take that as a no. Okay. I think we've answered all the questions that came on the chat. So next meeting,
Well, just out of curiosity, there's another special projects group. They're working on the timeshares building. Is that one of their?
Bruce is here and he could answer that question since he's the chairman of that committee. If you'll let him in, Ella.
Well, you'll have to, and there he is, he'll have to unmute himself. There he is.
Turn on your video, Brucey, so we can look at you.
No way.
Okay.
Got my Under Armour.
Oh, you don't have
Sweats
those
on.
pants on, I hope.
Yes, I do.
Oh, Ed's already excited.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I was asking about some of the projects like the timeshare laundry center
Yeah,
and the fact that, you know, they've got a truck they've had parked out there for over a year that should be hauled away, and we shouldn't allow them to store it there.
yeah, let me get with Shelley. But I mean, the last we had spoken, and they, they started on some of the repairs going into the timeshare building, but she guaranteed by the end of this year, the park and the maintenance building would be cleaned up and repaired and painted.
That's a major league eyesore, I think.
Yeah, and it has been.
I like the new railing they're doing in front of timeshare. That's going to look nice. And you said Shelley said that they would take care of their playground area and the laundry facility
By the end of the year.
Right. Okay.
And it seems like they've been taking quite a lot of time doing the repairs that they're doing. And I'm not sure what we can do about that, but it's taken a long time to do what
it's
they've
been raining
done.
a lot.
Yeah. There's been nice days, but there hasn't been any activities there.
We have an eyesore at the turn coming from Sky Valley Way on the ridgepole that needs some attention. I think Ella was wondering whether that's an area that the city could work on, or whether we have to get private people to do that repair.
Which one are you talking about?
The turn off of Sky Valley Way and Ridgepole where that old fence was. Is that what you're talking about, Ed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, we can check into it and see who owns it and that kind of thing. I'll get Bob on it.
Well, the fact is, it's probably on the city's right of way, I would think, but it's originally, I guess, was built to hide the utilities that are back behind there. So,
Oh, okay. All right.
my guess is the city, not the city, but the utility company, along with Windstream, probably have some type of easement going in there. But nevertheless, it's a real eyesore.
Okay.
So maybe we can work together on that.
Did you have some suggestions, Ed, on how to pretty that up?
The first thing is to remove the old broken down fence, and we talked about maybe trying to plant some shrubbery in there, but I think it would take several years for the shrubs to grow up enough to really protect it. I think the best option is to go back in there with some nice looking fencing like was there before.
I disagree, Ed. I think that if you planted some arborvitae, I think that's what it is. They grow very rapidly, and you can plant them close together. They'll grow together and look good, and you won't have to maintain them anymore. But I thought, well, that's my 2 cents.
Well, and open for suggestions, anything that would hide it. I think Wanamaker, we had talked to him about putting some bushes in there and or a fence, and his comment was, whatever you put in there, the trucks that can't make that turn are going to continue to knock it down. So,
Might have to move it back a little bit.
and I think the other problem you have is after you come out a few feet, you're getting into a paved area. So you probably have to get some kind of a machine in there to cut the pavement out. But
I'll go out and look at that and see, looking here on the tax map. Harrison owns some of that property right behind, but if it's before, that's owned by Frank Rickman, but I'll check out and see exactly where it's at and see if it's on Harrison's property or not.
Now, the city right of way is 15 feet from the center line of the road. Is that-
Sometimes those, well, and that it varies on each road. So some of those are actually a little wider. I believe Sky Valley Way is 80. So that means it would be 40 foot. So I'll have to look at that and see where that's at, because that road is rather wide right there. So I'll need to just actually go out and put my eyes on it and see where exactly is, the fence and such.
Okay. So we could talk about that at the next meeting, maybe?
Yeah, maybe I can get you an update before then.
Okay.
Is there anything more, Bill, going on with our mountain wetlands?
With the what?
The
Oh, the
mountain
wetlands?
wetlands project across from the post office.
They've been real slow to respond. Holly, I think Tony's still with us. He's been the main point of contact there. If you could unmute Tony.
He's
Tony,
on.
He's
can you give
unmuted.
us a quick update?
Sure, I have been in touch with the, DNR, Department of Natural Resources, Georgia, and they have expressed interest, but nailing them down is kind of hard. They're all COVID scared, and they don't get out together much. But they are interested there, and I don't know if Bill has updated you on this, but we talked about doing what they call a mountain bog. It's a special kind of wetland in the mountains, and they were looking at a couple of I'll try to remember the name of this, some kind of turtle that is endangered, and they thought it would be a great habitat for that, and that we could use that as a draw. It would be one of the few places where that turtle would be protected, and create viewing area and that sort of thing for it. So there's all kind of possibilities, but we just need to get those people engaged a little more than they have been.
Tony, we could also have someone dress up as the mountain bog man, kind of like Bigfoot, maybe.
You can, I'll do that. You can strap me to the top of your car and ride me into town.
All right, thanks. But this COVID thing, they're from a government standpoint, they're not being real responsive, especially trying to get out. But I know Tony's been in constant follow-up with them, so hopefully we'll get something more concrete here as we move forward. In relation to that, there was a bid that was conducted not too long ago. I want to say about 3 years or so ago, maybe, to dredge that area out and fix it up, and it was $248,000. So that probably isn't going to make it onto the agenda anytime soon to do that.
Was that with their approval?
No, it was not.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, and that's one of the other clarifying things, because what Tony has found out is that's a tributary into a secondary trout stream, which really restricts what you can do in that area. So I still think that's a little fuzzy, and it's still something we need to try to get more clarification on.
Ella, there's a message saying Martin is waiting to be let in. Did you see
Yeah,
that?
I'm sending something. I have not seen that because
Okay.
it automatically after 10 minutes, it's cutting people out because that's what my stuff says. So I don't see him.
Well, he had trouble getting in earlier because I sent him a message and then I sent him the link again. So he just got in. Fact is, we're about finished with the meeting, so
Well, we could tell him that we've given him some assignments.
I'll convey the assignments to him.
Okay.
He's the bog man.
He's bog man.
All right. Any other questions or new business?
This like Bruce Turner chimed in something. Let's see. He wants to know if Florida residents, he said I have asked if Florida residents still need to quarantine for 2 weeks. I don't know if he's been asked or is that what you've been asked?
Yes.
Bruce?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I've been asked if people coming from Florida to Sky Valley still need to quarantine for 2 weeks.
I think according to the executive action, they do. The governor's executive action.
That's correct.
And the reason I asked is I know Florida opened the state 100%, I think last week. And I wasn't sure if there was anything current that addressed the fact that Georgia or Florida is opened 100%.
Have not seen any update to our governor's mandate.
Mm-mm.
The current executive action was just to go through today, so I don't know. I guess.
He's extended it through about another couple of weeks in October.
Oh, I think it was October 15th. I think you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But people could go down to the Baptist church on Tuesday morning and get a COVID test for free. They get the results back in 48 hours.
And then they can stay?
Yeah.
Okay.
They could stay at Tim's house.
Downstairs.
Thank you.
All right. Next meeting. I've got Tuesday, the 27th, Wednesday, the 28th, Thursday, the 29th suggested. Any preferences?
The council meeting is the 27th.
Yeah,
Right.
let's not do it that day, if at all possible.
Yeah.
That makes a difficult day.
Yeah, I can't do it that day.
So 28th or 29th.
Yep. I'm good either day.
How about everybody else?
I'll be
I
out
don't
of
think
town.
I'm available any of those days. Let me look.
Mm-mm.
Is there something wrong with doing it the afternoon of the 27th?
I'll be gone, but
Isn't that the Friday after Thanksgiving?
No, we're still in October.
We're in October.
Oh, we're in October. Okay.
But we
Yeah,
have a council meeting that morning though, right?
yes,
Yes.
that whole week is bad for me, so.
Yeah. Me too.
We push, I don't think we have anything real critical, do we? That we could probably push that out another week.
Go to the 1st of November.
Yeah.
That's okay with me. How about the rest of y'all?
Fine with me.
I'm good.
Good.
Well, yeah, the first
Good.
week of November, I'm good.
So
That'll get Martin to get his bog man suit ready and
election day is the 3rd.
correct.
Mhm.
So we want to do 4th or 5th.
That's fine with me.
I'm
What
good
say the
either
rest
way.
of you?
Wednesday or Thursday, any preferences?
Well, Wednesday is election day.
No, Tuesday's election.
Tuesday's election.
Oh, I'm looking, yeah, hello, thank you. All right, Wednesday, the 4th,
Yeah, Holly, it's okay for you to vote on Wednesday.
thank you. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
What time? 10, 2?
Doesn't matter to me.
2 o'clock.
2.
2 o'clock. Tim, you need your beauty rest, honey.
Well, that's after this, I take my nap.
Oh, I see.
Wears me out. I just thought it'd be nice, we all come over to Ed's house and have lunch.
That's
Tim,
true.
don't take a nap yet.
I'm waiting on you, Bruce.
Okay.
Make sure you change your pants before you get here, though.
I'm checking.
I don't want to know anymore.
Well,
It's
you
too
know,
much, too much information.
Yeah, right.
November the 4th at 2:00, is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Is that okay with everybody?
That
Yeah.
works for me.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks for all the input. Appreciate it. I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Thank you very much.
all right.
You.
Thank y'all.